Hello and welcome to episode 11 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough in Cycle 11, Day 11. What are the odds? Anyway, we're currently toward the end of a temperate cycle. Haven't gotten that warning for drought or bad tide yet, but we will probably very soon within the next couple of days. The last episode, of course, we managed to just about completely recover from the terrible position we were in at the end of episode 9. And now we can choose to build on that and start to make some real impactful change for a good trajectory of the future of this playthrough. Including a bunch of stuff you guys have mentioned in the comments. We've got a bunch of other things to take care of. First of all, what I notice here is that we have an opportunity to plant some more green peas in this area here to replace some of these sunflowers. Of course, green peas being used for science and other purposes to come very soon with different recipes for stuff here. I wanted to take a look at the recipe for the cereal bars. It was a suggestion for us to take a look at those. And we don't have a lot of berries right now, but we do technically have all the materials to start making these. And you'll notice 1 hour gives you 22 of those cereal bars down here at the, I guess I can click on this so I can actually hover. Right down here. This recipe is the one we're looking at. So altogether, we've got 8, 11, 14, 15, and 10 units of water gives us 22 units of food. That's a really good ratio. If, and that's a big if, we can get those berries up, get the berry production a little bit better, and I think that is going to be a good move for us to get into. But of course, that's going to require that we grow more berries, and we can't plant them right now. We have to have access to the tree nursery and all sorts of other stuff, so we unfortunately are probably not going to get to that for a while. But what we can do is try to find other areas on the map where we've got them, like say right here, and see if there's any way for us to increase the amount that can be grown, let them spread naturally, and let them not get infected with bad water. So, not really a ton we can do, to be perfectly honest, in most of these things, but the time will come when that's going to be a viable thing for us to do, and that is going to be a glorious moment, to be sure. But just so you guys know, that is in the back of my mind. It's not really something we're going to be able to do right now, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and, I guess I'll put this in double speed, which we've been doing for a little bit of time. We'll find out if we have the drought or the bad tide, I guess, tomorrow, or maybe the day after, in-game. But for right now, like I said, we're looking pretty good with food and water. Obviously, the chestnut beer we are currently putting into the distillery so we can make strong alcohol. And then, of course, the strong alcohol going into the alchemist so we can make brain-boosting salts. Brain-boosting salts, of course, are going into the library so we can make science. And, of course, the science points are going into our science point storage, which isn't really a real thing, but for the purposes of narration, we're just going to say that it is, so that we can unlock stuff like stairs. So many things to take care of, but I am very, very proud of the progress we've made thus far, recovering from stuff, and, of course, like I said, we're going to continue that today. Lots to deal with, lots to discuss. This area right here, at least one of you brought up in the comments, would be a great place to grow some more crops or trees. Given how this is laid out right here, I think it's probably, until we have, a little bit of a better handle on what's going on here, this would be a great place to put in an irrigation tower, or a lodge, or whatever, and start growing some more trees in this area, because we need to have trees. So if I were to, first of all, I have to hide this so I can actually see the screen here. Find ourselves a spot where this is going to, fit, first of all. Right here seems probably good, but I'm kind of tempted to move it up here so that we could contain most of these berries inside that orange highlighted area. Because if we start doing what's the thing called this? Pollution resistance factor. There we go. Brain is operating slowly today. When is it not? It's going to take care of that. It's going to keep that clean. So this will be irrigated. And then, again, like I said, trees probably make the most sense at this juncture. So I will go ahead and pop in one of these foresters. I guess probably right about here would make sense because that's going to cover almost all of this. This would cover it too. This would not. Okay. I'll put it here. I'll just put it right next to this. Reminder that this is a house and this is also a house. So, you know, it is what it is. Going to go ahead and put ourselves a small plank tank right here, just so we can have some storage for water nearby. And then all of this is going to be turned into some wonderful tree farming areas. And we also have scrap metal that needs to be harvested, but, you know, that will come in due time. Let it be what it's going to be, and we can keep on moving on. We're also making paper. We have 16 units of paper. Long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we had this floodgate dam blueprint thing going, and what it needed was another 18 pieces of paper, and we've got 16. So we're really close, folks. We are really, really, really close. And once we can cut down a few more trees to get some logs, and then just a couple more pieces of paper, scrap metal we already have, it just has to be moved back in, we can finally start researching the floodgate dam blueprints that we tried to do so many episodes ago and kind of what got us into this mess in the first place. Fermentation barrel-wise, I think it's probably going to become a good idea soon to turn this back on and make some more kimchi. Because this kimchi here is not going to last forever, and these guys are still making science, and we now have 70 science. So, like I said, stairs, finally, we have actual stairs, which is glorious because now we can access so much more of this. So many things are accessible now. But it's going to be a little bit of a challenge getting into some of these areas. I'm going to start by putting these stairs here. And while these brambles are here, they are dead. That's not going to be a problem. Now we have some more berries and a couple more pine trees as well that we can come to over here. I'm going to cut the pine trees down because we already have our little pine grove here where we can get all of our pine resin from for the time being. And these are berries, which we just talked about a little while ago, are going to be able to be harvested, and that is absolutely something we should be trying to do as much of as we can. This gatherer flag will not be able to reach down here. I cannot put stairs down here until these trees are gone, and I do plan on doing that. Just going to be a little bit of a challenge, given how this is laid out, and we also have these ruins here kind of in the way, but it's all in the back of my mind as something we're going to be trying to do. Just going to take some time. So, if you'll trust me on that. Like I said, last episode, these things are currently paused. And as you guys have pointed out, we also need to dam this up if we're going to have any chance of actually keeping this lake nice and full. But the terrain here isn't really to our favor. We do, however, have the option to put in some dynamite here, and then I do want to I want to see if it's going to let me get away with this. Just pause this so they don't accidentally build it. This is so busted. Oh, there's no way this should work. Putting in a primitive dam on top of stilts. That kind of defeats the purpose of a dam, but I guess technically this is water sealed, so if we were to do that, then we could do that. We could very easily, right here, because of how this is laid out, put in a levee here, which will redirect all of that through here. This here is not going to let us do the same thing. But fear not, because all we have to do, folks, is put some other kind of watertight building here, and then so on, so forth. So what I'm going to do, I know it takes a lot of logs to build these crappy platforms, so we're not going to be doing that right now. It also takes a lot of logs to build these levees, but I'm going to pause this because I do, thank you autosave, I do want this to eventually be built. What we have to do now is try to cut some more trees down, which, hey, guess what? Oh, wrong button. Guess what? We got a lot of trees here, and guess what? Now we can build actual stairs. I don't know why I sound so sarcastic doing this, but now we can cut all of these dead pine trees down. Oh, look at this. Look at it. It's glorious. I love to see it. And guess what? This building can also, in the Waterbeavers mod, not in normal Timberborn, but in this mod, unless it has changed, which I may look like an idiot here in a couple minutes when they finish this, you can have a lumberjack flag in the water so long as the flag itself is not completely submerged. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. So, they're going to take care of that. We will continue the slow process of raising our population once again. Day 14? Day 14? There we go. There's that bad tide warning. Yeah, so, because this is a bad tide, I'm now no longer concerned about having this levee built at all, because this is all going to be complete poison. What we're going to want to do instead, and I know I just put this in, but I'm not going to build those there. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to remove these 2 blockages. Actually, no, I only have to remove 1. We're going to move that single blockage. And then, once that's gone, we're going to put in a pass-through lodge here. Now, why would we want to do that when this is all poison water? Well, what that's going to do is that's going to separate this main river and this here, so that we're not going to have to worry about it so much. We have this primitive dam set up here. What I'm probably going to do now, at least for the bad tide, remember, these are kind of cheap to build. I want to move the primitive dam back 1 more space, because then that will block this off from getting water in it entirely. Assuming I've done this correctly, but we also, what might be a smarter thing to do, we also can just, you know, put a levee in here to keep this nice and clean, but then it's eventually going to dry out. We can also just get rid of the levee. Do I have the materials? I don't have the logs. See, that's the problem, is I wanted to get logs. All right, let's hit pause so I can think, because I definitely don't want to get caught with my pants down here. These scrambled log stairs and regular log stairs, so on and so forth, can all be removed. We'll get logs back from that, and we can easily build these regular wooden stairs, because it takes planks, of which we have many, and only a single log, of which we have few. So, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, those 3 being gone immediately, and I mean immediately, solve a lot of problems for us. Those will just get nicely recovered there. Grab those logs off the ground. That's planks, don't care. Grab those logs off the ground. Grab those logs off the ground. Grab those logs off the ground. How many times am I going to say that? And then I'm going to prioritize that staircase. And then, do I really want to? Okay, I guess it's going to make the most sense just to build this levee here. Obviously, they can't reach this from a normal path unless this primitive dam is gone, which is probably a problem. However, guess what? We have the power of stairs. I love stairs. I love stairs so much. Yeah. I think in 2.4 days they can make that happen. The rest of this isn't that big of a deal because, 1, we have contaminated beaver jail. If the beavers get contaminated, we can put them in there, and then that's going to solve a lot of problems. And everything else, honestly, we don't really have a mechanism with which to prevent contamination from occurring unless we have... which building was making that? This guy, the distillery. Can make the pollution resistance factor. We don't have any stored here because the beavers keep using it for themselves because this building is paused as it can and should be. So, we're going to see what happens. But, before I hit unpause, because I know that's the thing we need to do, I think we are pretty well equipped to handle this upcoming bad tide. If for no other reason, then we have 1,400 water in storage, and if you have water, you can solve basically any problem ever. What we also need to do, that I will not forget this time, is we need to plug this back up. Among other many suggestions you guys have proposed, we can't use a levee here, because obviously there's nothing to attach it to. But there's a bunch of different options. If we really wanted to be, you know, fancy about this, then the correct thing to do is to actually finish making our, what do you call it? This thing, which they're still gathering all the materials for It is what it is. And we actually do have the paper, but, you know, only so many beavers, only so little time. So, all that to say, yes, we will be putting yet another 2-story watertight lodge. And then the beavers who work here are going to be haulers, as they almost always are. And that's fine. So we hit on pause. These guys can come in doing what they're doing. Oh, this little baby beaver is stuck because we haven't built the stairs yet. And we have builder beavers if we let them into the builder's tower segment and take them out of the hauler tower segment. See, just like that, making smart use of our resources, and now we got 3 more builders in addition to the 4 here. Gotta let them do what they're gonna do, and that is totally fine. Look at this, look at this. We don't have green peas. I guess, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the library so we can start, you know, using some of these materials in other places. But everything is looking pretty good, looking pretty good. The strong alcohol is, unfortunately still waiting on... What is it actually waiting on? Because we have the materials. We definitely have all the materials. And there's nothing in the output, so what's going on with that? What's going on with that? I mean, the brain-boosting salts are being made. Maybe it's just because, you know, it's nighttime and they don't have anything going on. I guess we will see what happens here. Alright, so those stairs are in place. This is connected with a path. This needs to be paused so that it doesn't get built until the very end of the thing here. But now we can get these guys coming over here, hopefully. Yeah, look at them go. They got logs, they got their planks, they got all sorts of goodies ready to bring stuff over here. This still hasn't been taken care of, but I guess that's fine. I guess it's fine to not build this here yet, because this is all going to be infected anyway. Not really any real way to prevent that. Oh, wait, they're building this without the stairs being in place? Alright, cool. We'll just pause the stairs. They can bring all that garbage in there. I really hope these guys are carrying resin because we're about to not have any left. I very much hope that's what they're doing with that. Well, I guess we'll find out. Not really that big of a deal if they don't, but you know how it goes. This hasn't been finished yet. Please let me click on the stairs, thank you. I don't have any other tappers flags anyway. I got that guy there. Yeah, they can't reach that quite yet. How are we looking? Okay, they need 1 more pine resin, and I do show 1, and it's probably in transit anyway, so that's looking good. Logs have probably gone to a whole bunch of other stuff. I guess... Well, they're going to be infected anyway. Contaminated, whatever you want to call it. So there's probably no point in spending too much more time worrying about it. Just going to let them do what they can do. This is already marked for cutting. It is what it is. Get this... Click on the correct thing. Just waiting on more logs. And we've got them to be able to cut down, so that is fine there. Chestnuts are doing chestnut beer activities. This, for some reason, is... okay. I guess they already made a batch, and that's the only bit that's left. Okay, well, at least the alcohol's in here making the brain-boosting salts, and they're going to use them for brain-boosting activities. And that's fine. We've got food steadily increasing. The hand of soup in the warm storage increasing as well. Need to plant some more cabbages. But things are looking okay here. They're not looking great, but they are looking okay. And I think we can make a pretty good amount of stuff here if I just put in, I guess, one of these irrigation towers, irrigation lodges. I need to call them by the correct name to keep these things alive. Again, depending on if they can finish this, which I think at this point now they can. If this stays irrigated, then these also stay irrigated. So that's going to be good there. Getting all this stuff in here absolutely has been a huge boon. These are looking fine. This will stay fine as long as I remember to, you know, finish construction of this thing. Just get this thing finished, folks. Just a little bit left. And that's done. Cool. That's huge. keeping this from getting nasty in it is absolutely huge. This being here, I guess, is fine, because now all of the water is going to flow through this mess, well, in addition to over the 2/3 height of the dam here, and then also out through this mess, which is going to be advantageous to us currently, but that's looking fine. What are they going to build next? They haven't started on... Oh, they have. Ah, but this needs a lot of logs. Okay. Well, that is what it is. That's fine. These guys pumping here are definitely going to drain this super quick. I maybe... Okay, somebody left a comment about the water pump upgrades maybe needing to go here instead, but I think we were fine not to build them here yet. But we're going to need to be careful as we continue moving forward. I want to make sure there's nothing else that I absolutely need to do right now to prepare for bad tide. Food is, it's not looking great, but it definitely has looked worse. Obviously, last episode especially. We're still making rice balls here. We still have mountain salt. We still have a full inventory of rice. There's still plenty more to pick. This is about to die, so I do want to go ahead and prioritize harvesting this rice paddy the rest of this final day here. We don't have pollution resistance factor, or else I would say let's load that up, but let's just take a look here. Okay, so this is still making strong alcohol. When this recipe is finished, I'm going to switch this back over to pollution resistance factor. But just want to make sure before I get too comfortable here that we're looking okay. Yeah, this... Okay, well this isn't prioritized by haulers anyway, so this poor beaver just by themselves is trying to bring all this stuff in here. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pause the primitive paper mill because we're not going to need to use that. Let's put this on one-time speed, get these things equaled out. We do have some extra beavers technically, but once this finishes, they won't be extra beavers. Things are looking okay. Looking fine. Not tremendous, but they've definitely been worse. As long as we can keep these crops alive and, not dead. That is what alive means. So let's just blast through this. Get that up to 100%. Alright. Now, we do have brain-stimulating mushrooms and we have water. That's all it takes to make pollution resistance factor. So now this can start working. Hopefully. I got 6 of those stored there, and I've got 8 of those stored there. This needs to be turned back on. It does not have to have a worker. That's totally fine. Then we're going to open this up because we have to have the... I have to close this tooltip thing. Need to have that recipe going. Contamination... Repelling, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't highlighted, but that's what it was supposed to be doing. So that's fine. Water storage is base. No, it's not full. I forgot. Had a little bit more there. This strong alcohol, ideally should be going here, but it's under drinkable, so they're gonna drink it, and it's gone. So I guess those beavers had other plans in mind. But this irrigation lodge up here, I'm pretty sure is going to be fine with just regular irrigation. This should be too high to get contaminated from down here. Now, this obviously is going to be contaminated. It's going to reach somewhat. We do already have this that died from contamination here. But none of the rest of this is dead from contamination, so maybe things will be okay. Just maybe we will see. Got this guy here. You can't really do anything because we don't have the log for these wooden stairs. But again, we cannot forget this has all the materials, which is good. Just has to have the other 52% of construction completed. Just want to make sure that we're not going to be putting ourselves in too terrible of a position here. Very good. Pollution resistance factor is in place. Very slowly, but hopefully this can continue being made. If I pause this, then obviously they're going to take the water back out, but there's no storage for pollution resistance factors, so it has to stay there. I promise this is going to make sense. It's not just going to be madness. This is still paused. I don't think we're going to have to worry about repelling too much from up here, but if I have to, I will turn this back on contamination repelling irrigation. I just want to make sure they're making enough of this. Yeah, it's just going to be whatever it's going to be. Alright, this one has not replanted trees, which is fine because these are all going to die anyway, so that is okay. This can be paused because they can't reach anything there. All this rice is going to be good. This rice needs to be harvested or it's going to die, but it doesn't really have anywhere to go. Yeah, somebody didn't make good rice. Oh, there's rice storage still. So we're doing fine. We're making half-fermented sake here, which can be used to supply these medical beds to take care of the injuries, which aren't existing now because maybe they already took care of them. All right, we got to hit pause because I have to get them to finish this 2-story watertight lodge. And it's already prioritized, so that should be okay. And we're about to see that get done. Very good. So now this is completely taken care of. I'm going to pause the water pump upgrades. And now that will slow down the pumping out of here. I'm also going to close these things down. We don't want to grow our population too much. And these are not being used as dams, so it's not cheating. There you go. Problem solved. So this water should be mostly retained. We do have 1,700 stored. They have got other recreational pursuits available to them in the drinkable tab. And friends, we are looking pretty good. Pretty good. Just a little bit of contamination going to happen, but hey. Sometimes that's just the way she goes. And somehow we still don't have all the paper in here, or the scrap metal. So I'm going to prioritize by haulers, because now we have additional haulers. Thanks to this building here. This can be unpaused, so we still have some empty slots to grow population, but also have some haulers take care of everything else there. I like where we are at. Don't end sentences with prepositions. That's incorrect. I don't care. Well, I care a little bit, but it's not really that relevant. So now we've harvested about as much of the rice as we can. I'm going to tell them to focus on cabbages. They probably aren't going to go down here anyway, but any beaver we can keep out of the sludge is going to be good for us. Alright, so 5-day bad tide. You can see that sludge coming in. Once again, going to take care of all this, but this is nice and clean and safe, thanks to this guy here. This is nice and clean and safe, thanks to this guy here. This is going to be sludge, but you know that's the way she goes. As long as, hey, look, irrigation. Oh, we didn't hit this one. Okay, well, that's fine. Now, before this gets super bad, I'm going to unpause this. And we just have to get some water in here before all of these crops die. Alright, where's the beaver that works here? Of course, all the way over there. Well, it's still going to be a little bit before this starts dying off, so maybe things will improve. Okay, no, is that the beaver that works here? No. No, it is. Maybe. There we go. Alright. So now that is, I guess, technically fine. Sure, let's just pretend that that's what's going on here. It's got pollution resistance factor. I thought I understood how this worked. Okay, don't have mushrooms. Okay, now they don't have bad water, but we do have a bad water bucketing post. It's just slow. If we really want to punish beavers, I can send another one down here, but, you know how it goes. It still says there's no water here. What? Come on. Come on. What gives? I know there is water here. There it is. There it is. You better get in there. You better get in. There we go. Cool. So that's good for 19 hours at least. Apologies if you're finding this to be frustrating to watch, but we are doing very important things. Obviously, there's not much clean water that can be, taken out of these, so I'm going to go ahead and pause all of those. I've got other buildings that can be turned on, like, for example, this irrigation lodge here to keep these trees alive and house 3 beavers. Do still have 2 homeless, so let's check and see. This forester will house 3 of those, 3 being more than the 2 that are currently homeless, but they just have to finish building it. Then we can plant some more trees, and everything is going to be just peachy. A-okay. Still looking good there. Very, very slow here. The brain-stimulating mushrooms are going to be stimulating as best as they can. Not too much else you can do there. But I'm surprised that only this bit is poisoned at this point. I was almost certain those... okay, there it goes. There it goes. It's going to be a lot worse. Yeah, we're doing all right. Okay, these trees are all dead. That's rough, but at least these are already full grown. I don't have the materials, nor would this cover that, but I don't have that to take care of that. One more left here. Let's go ahead and start planting everblossoms. I almost instinctively reached for the pines, but nope, they're worse in this mod. We've confirmed that. I'm going to leave some space open here for these berries to spread, but the rest of this can be everblossoms. And I've got some space over here as well. I'll leave these 2 slots open for some lumberjacks. I do know that we have lumberjack lodges, planification lodges, etc., but not in a position to build those quite yet. I'm just going to have lumberjack flag here, lumberjack flag here. They don't have to be occupied, but want to have those just in case. Nothing to do in range. Oh, they still haven't built the, still haven't built this. All right, well, you know, it is what it is. But overall, I think we are much better prepared now than we ever have been for a bad tide. All of our shortcomings aside. Where is my paper in here? Prioritize. Maybe I just have to wait a little bit longer for them to take care of stuff. Seems to be a very slow process. Because, you know, 12.5 days is a long time. At this point, it is more time than we have remaining in this episode, but why do I not have paper here? It's here. It's in the paper mill. We know it can be made. I guess they just carry one thing at a time? Are they that bored? Well, at any rate. This is flowing through here. This should help clean it out a little bit better. Obviously, this is nasty, but it is what it is. We got these trees cutting. That's good. I probably could and probably should have some sort of a bridge over here. Still irrigated, still looking good. I got beavers in here because they don't have any other jobs to do presently. That's fine, I suppose. How are we looking over here? Okay. Half-fermented sake being made. Chestnut beer being made. This is still making pollution resistance factor, which this is still not full on, but because there's no water, it says there's no more supply will last. Yeah, see, now these are... Oh, what gives? What gives, man? You got to keep your water in here. Are you carrying water? Good. Please immediately rectify this situation. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Do not kill the things. Alright, good. Boy, that's nerve-wracking. I don't want to prioritize this, too, because you know how that's going to go. Alright, let's move on. Planting trees is good. Trees here are dead. That's bad, but it is what it is. Not much else you can do. Have they gotten anything else in here? Okay, good. Good, good, good. We are now 1% of the way. A single percent of the way to the Floodgate Dam blueprints. And of course, I can't change the recipe until they finish researching this, so we're going to continue gathering materials in this. That's just the way this works. I can't change it. But once that's done, we will be able to go back to gear production. Not that we really need to have gear production anyway. It's fine. It's fine. These guys are doing good work here. We probably, at this point, should be replacing some of these more troublesome log stairs with regular stairs. Try and gain a little bit more space. Get access to additional areas that we had not been using. These will be fine. Those will be fine. These log stairs... I don't have a single spot to get up here, do I? Yeah, see, that's unfortunate, because I'd love to be able to get up to additional spots here. At least I can get to that. That's probably okay for right now. Probably okay for right now. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other stuff that we could improve, but I just haven't been prioritizing it. This is still too wide. This is the area I talked about a long time ago where it would be very beneficial to have a floodgate dam to just completely prevent bad tides. But it would require doing a little bit of rerouting to get this out of here. Probably the easiest thing to do would be to just blast a channel in the side here and have this just go right out that way. And then, of course, in the middle of the map we have these four here, which not going to be very possible for us to reroute this. Oh, you stupid idiots. Come on. Come on. Okay, so now you're... Do I not have water storage over here? Okay. Well... Oh, that's absolutely gonna infuriate me. I've got the pollution resistance factor. I don't have the water. That is incredibly frustrating. Because now all of these green peas that take 10 days to grow are going to be dead because we didn't get this taken care of. All right. If I increase the working hours before they finish, okay. Okay, where are you taking? Where are you taking this water? No, wrong answer. All right. Somebody better get here. All right, good. Good. Fix this. Fix this. Fix this immediately. You're going to stay there until these crops are saved. They're not saved. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Even just a few of these. It takes 10 days to grow this. Oh. Alright. I don't like how this building works. If I have the pollution resistance... Oh, now it's got water in it. Alright. Alright, I guess I just get to go be mad all by myself in my corner. That's... Yeah, okay. Well, at least we're planting more trees up here. Food is still looking really good. We're slowly increasing the storage in our hand of soup. I guess I can't really be that upset about it. It's just, come on, man. Really? Alright, so we pumped all this out. That's fine. But now the rice has been unwetted. Oh, I know what we can do. Is we can start reclaiming some of this land as well. If this is dead due to contamination, then I can have this taken care of here. Yeah, let's just make this... Let's get that out of there, and I can put some stairs here. That's definitely going to be a good opportunity for us to use this space. There you go. Get that hooked up there. Now we have, well, we have the wild brambles, but we can slowly contain those. And I've got more builders too, so don't forget we have that option to take care of stuff. These are all dead anyway because this is all contaminated. This would be a great place to put another one of those contamination repelling lodges. In due time, just let them do what they got to do. Also, now that we have these stairs, probably would not be a terrible idea to have access to this space as well to get those. Not really going to be that worried about it. We got dirty beavers because this is uncovered. We're really going to need to have more water pooled up than just this, and I know there's other ways of accomplishing that. Water beavers do not have the structure to cap this. Before anyone suggests I do that, that is not part of the mod, so that's always going to be a problem. But these trees are all planted. That's looking good. I did pause kimchi production, but I also paused library. And I've got some berries. We do still need to keep making science, so I guess I'll turn this back on. Let them, you know, continue that nonsense. 12% of the way done with the Floodgate Dam blueprint. One piece at a time, folks. I believe we should be in pretty good shape here. So I guess because I don't have enough room for an entire batch of rice balls, we can't make any more. A couple people left comments saying that we really need to get going on some storage options, and I agree, but we have to have somewhere to put them. And that is, that's kind of, you know, the crux of our whole issue here, is I don't have storage space. But now that we have stairs, we have opportunities to actually have places to put things. If I can figure out good routing for stuff here. Again, it's not really a very convenient place to put things, but I know it's ugly. It just fits there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Got some more trees that can be cut down up here. And then I think this is probably going to be the best place for right now to go ahead and put some simple storages, just so we have some place to go. I don't have the science to unlock all the rest of these yet. So all I've got are just these pathetic little spots, but, you know, it's better than nothing. Some rice ball storages. I do have enough space once I build this to do another couple batches there. Gotta get more of these guys. There's always something to do with this mod, man. Always something to do. Always some problem to solve. At least now this is fully taken care of. We're gonna have to shift these guys in and out after the end of this thing. Can't forget to get rid of this, so this can fill back up once this is nice and clean. Can't forget to start building this once that's nice and clean. And then I need to make a bypass. So much to do. So many things to do, and I know our water is getting low. But we're going to be fine. We'll get these things all turned on. It's going to solve all sorts of problems. That's now at 16%. Just got to get things taken care of. In the very slow, very frustrating, but always fun Waterbeavers style of play that we have here. Other food-related things, I don't have storage for green peas. I don't think we're really ever going to have that problem, though, because the buildings that use those have pretty good storages for that stuff. I have berry storage. The Hand of Soup will hold most of the rest of our food things. I'm going to go ahead and make a storage for cereal bars, even though we can't really make them yet. Oh, they filled that up quick. Alright, so never mind. That is now storage for more rice balls. We want to be able to have those. Definitely want to be able to have those. Yeah, see, they still have all of that stuff. Praised cabbage, of course, doing that. I probably should make another cooking tent and start making the cereal stuff. But that requires the small clay pot, which we're going to have to make. And the wood burner, which is, of course, just clay and logs. We have all those materials. Just have to get that going. Shouldn't be a big deal. We only have 8 contaminated beavers. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Definitely could have been a whole lot worse making it through this bad tide, but like I said earlier, things are looking really good. Really, 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 really good. And now I have more space. Thank you, autosave. More space to come over here and put a couple of lumberjack flags in. Although this one can handle all that by himself, so that's going to be fine. This is, I guess, still technically able to reach stuff. We'll let that clean stuff come in. This is now clean enough for me to, I think, pause the irrigation lodge. Should solve that problem real quick. Get these open back up. No, not that. This is clean enough. Yeah, clean enough. Demolish that. Get these filled back up. Get those pumps going again. This isn't going to get any better until until it can actually flow completely clean. But it is going to push a bunch of this sludge through here. That's going to be totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and say we can build this levee. Yeah, we got the materials for it. Okay, that's going to take another 2 days, basically, to get that finished. That's totally fine. Unpause this guy so we can start planting some more of these trees. Things are looking good. Ah, and I did cut these back. Until we have a better way of dealing with it. I'm going to put the fence gate. I guess I'm going to have to put the fence gate here. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. We'll just, nope, that's got to go that way. There. I promise I know what I'm doing. Promise I know what I'm doing. That, hopefully, will, allow us to at least start something over here. That is at 38%. I wonder, would I have better success? This is still paused, right? Better success doing this. Probably. Okay, so now let's try this. Because I know they can't build through a construction site, or they can't build, quote-unquote. Gotta get rid of that, and that, and that. Well, if that's the case, I don't need to have the fence gate there at all. Just need to have these things taken care of. Alright. Let's see if they can handle that. Everything else starting to get cleaner, starting to look a whole lot better. Pumping, continuing. I'm not going to be pumping these quite as much, but these guys are going to take care of all that. 22%. I guess they're going to take their sweet time doing all this mess. Planting there. That's fine. Planting the rice, again, that is also fine. I'm going to put the fence gate here when that one's finished. Probably going to take a while, though. Alright, come on, hurry up. Hurry up, we got stuff to do. Let's go, bud. I can't go away and do anything else until you're finished. And I do not want these to be occupied again. There we go. Alright, hit pause. Get that there. And then get that there. Now that doesn't matter as much. Cool. They can't go past that. Everything else going nicely. We've got 1,000 food. Braised cabbage amounts are still going down. Ah, that is probably partly why. But it is what it is. This needs to be removed. This has nothing left to do. Get that reflooded. Those contaminated. Oh well, life goes on. Replanting these trees is going reasonably well. Water levels still say going down, but not for too long. Just trying to keep these guys going the best way possible. What's this at? 25. Why do I keep checking this so fast? It's not going to go fast at all. Yeah, but this, like I said, going to be a good place to plant some more trees. Alright, I'm taking a look at the notes I had. I think I've done most of it. I don't think it's really been that big of an issue. But, like I said a little bit earlier, I do want to put the pass-through lodge here. We don't really need it, functionally speaking, but what it would do is it would force all the water coming through here to go out this way, all the water going here to go out this way, which would make this clean out a little bit sooner in a bad tide. Would have the side effect of causing this to collect some bad water here. So I'm not in a rush to do it, but getting this closed off was good. That helps a lot, and then we're going to have to get this closed off, or at least ideally with a dam or something. We can continue to build around this bit here, kind of dry this out, or at least keep it clean enough, but you know, that's going to be something for another time. This is looking fine. These need to be marked for cutting. They already are, except these in the middle. That's fine there. Those are all on different levels. Can't really do much with that. Okay, this gatherer flag, I did say I was going to move it, so let's... That would reach there. That doesn't really reach anywhere. This actually reaches just about all of it. Okay, so that's going to go there. That's going to be removed there, so we'll get some more berries. Things are looking good. Oh, I've got my pot. Good. This can now be paused, and I can go ahead and build another cooking tent, which I suppose if we're only using rice and salt, that one should probably be over here. Would just make sense. So I'm going to pop that there. This can be for the rice balls. Of course, this is storage for chestnuts, but this is where the rice comes from. So that's probably fine. We have the ability to do long, tiny piles when we actually have science. But you know what I see here is I see 120 science. You know what comes with 120 science is the medium tank. So yes, finally, friends, we have the ability to build medium tanks. This one will go right here with some nice, clean water. And I guess I can also... Well, I could force them to empty these first. But this is a prime location for us to put in a couple of platforms. I don't have these scaffoldings yet, but we'll get there at some point. This will be another one of those medium tanks just right here. Super easy. We should have the metal fasteners. We might need to start making some more. What is this currently doing? Oh, it is making metal fasteners. Good. But we don't have scrap metal. Oh, it's turned off. Never mind. We do have scrap metal. Probably should be harvesting some of this as well. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to take this lumberjack flag out. I'm going to replace it with a scavenger flag because we do have scrap metal here. That will help that. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it the most glorious thing you've ever seen? No? Well, that's okay. Other places where I could put a medium tank be good at. Okay. This is not marked for cutting. It's about to be. Go get that stuff. I've got so much storage for rice balls. I'm just, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and keep putting some of these in here. Why not? Why not? Just have this whole thing slam full with rice balls. Never hurts to have a food that will keep your beavers alive, even if it doesn't grant a bonus. Very cheap, very easy to make. And then this one, now that this is built, making rice balls, this one can get swapped over to the cereal bars. And if we can get just a few more berries harvestable, I know these guys are here. Not reachable by this guy necessarily, but you know, as we keep going on harvesting more and more of these trees, I think we're going to be able to get at more of these berries. Just have to be able to make things work. I don't really have too many other spots to pop this stuff. Okay, what kind of range am I going to get on this? Oh, wow, that actually reaches almost all of those. If I put this here, does it? No, it's the same range. If this was facing this way and had a path connection, we'd get that last one, but I guess I will go ahead and I'll just put this gatherer's flag here because it's already here. And that's fine. We'll just let them do what they got to do. Gonna turn on another one of these pumps. What's our storage capacity now? 2320. Like to see that. Very, very, very encouraging. Looking good there. Continuing to increase our capacity of other things. Need to plant some more cabbages. That will all come in due time. Oh, this can be paused. Doesn't need to be irrigated. This gatherer flag here, obviously you can still get that. No storage for pine resin, huh? Okay, well we need to have more storage for pine resin. I just don't know where to put it. That's a very good question. What am I going to do with that? Now, we do have houses that will also be good storage, but I might as well... First of all, is pine resin go in a warehouse, or... Should go in a warehouse. There it is. I guess, for lack of anywhere else to put it, you already knew this was coming. Let's just put more pine resin over here. It's fine. This will be so much better once we have access to other stuff. It's going to be fine, don't worry. Because guess what? I can put stairs here. That's going to go away. Which is going to leave us a little bit more space for a couple of small crappy warehouses. Other things that don't have space. Oh, I'm almost certain the mushrooms actually have... Oh, there's actually not that much. Okay. Well, that's fine. We can have a reserve storage of mushrooms. Sunflower seeds don't have a storage. Alright, fine. Sunflower seed storage. Look at that. They're already taking care of all that. How are we looking here? 39%. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Looking good. It's only day 4. We got so much time. So much time to keep solving problems and making more food. We do have 108. Wow, we have 108 cereal bars. This will store 330. But you already know where this is going. We need to have storage for cereal bars. So guess what? Now we have 144 cereal bar storage. Very good. Remember, this is not a mine. This is an abyss, and we can put something on it. But not for like another 30 episodes, so I'm not going to be worried about blocking this in. We're just going to keep on building more storage. Because that's all we can do. And as soon as I get more science, we can unlock some more of these other warehouses and such. But it's probably about time. I mean, there's so many other things we could be doing, right? But it's probably about time to start looking at building an architect's lodge, because they're the ones that make the scaffolding. And that is going to be one of the most fundamental building blocks, pun intended, of the mid-game, which we are, I guess, technically approaching. And, of course, we do have to unlock this with science, so that is going to mean that we need to try and get some more stuff in the library, and the brain-boosting salts need to be made of strong alcohol, which means we can stop making pollution resistance factors. So, chestnut beer back in the distillery. I probably should have another distillery now making pollution resistance factor, if we're being perfectly honest with ourselves. So now I just have to make sure I have the materials to build this. Scrap metal I do not have. I do not have 75. But we do have this here, which should get us most of the rest of the way there. So I'm going to... Oh, turn this thing off. I'm going to find us another spot. I guess this works better than, you know, whatever. This can be for pollution resistance factor. We really should be making about as much of that as we can. That's going to be fine. This is going to be another good opportunity for us to put in a storage house, which we can use to store, well, different things. But the pollution resistance factor... Oh, I thought that might have been liquid. Never mind. I guess that can go in... It can. It can go in a warehouse. I would like to avoid having too many more beavers. Liquid storage house. I don't think we're going to need to have a liquid storage house anymore. We can replace that with... Dun, dun, dun. Oh, this is a bigger one than I thought it was. Oops. And the entrance is on the wrong floor. Never mind. Oh. Okay. Alright, well, we'll have to figure that out in due time. Water doesn't need to be there. I guess it doesn't really matter. I just need to have somewhere to put stuff. This is a great place, 3x3. Do I dare build yet another mushroom grower? I don't think we need any more mushrooms at this point. I think we're probably all mushroomed out. If anything, we need more cabbages, which I kind of can't do much with. Green peas, we still have to keep waiting on those. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to turn on the fermentation barrel for kimchi yet. There is still a little bit left for these guys, but the cabbage situation has not quite evened out yet. Gotta be able to grow more cabbages. I know I got these guys here. In theory, now that we know how this works, we should be okay to keep growing stuff, but I need more cabbages, man. Gotta have more cabbages. Got to have more cabbages. So what in the world am I going to do about that? I suppose probably the thing that makes the most sense is to keep building more of these storages here, but I've got to make sure I have the materials. Tar. I have 45 tar. Theoretically, I can build another 2 of these. We're going to have to turn the sawmill back on at one point, but I don't really know where to put any of this stuff. See, that's storage for rice. That probably should not be in that exact spot. For right now, I know I have to have space for the large warehouses. I have to have science for the large warehouses, but for right now, this can be a rice storage. Rice, there we go. This crappy warehouse is going to go away, and I'm going to, in its place, put a medium tank for water. Mostly because we don't have water storage over here, outside of this tiny little pathetic one. This instead can start holding some more tar. This, I guess, is still making brain-boosting salts that we are then theoretically supposed to be putting in the library, but we can probably also make more tar with this. Now, if we want to make another alchemist, don't forget we have to have another set of laboratory glassware. Where do we make laboratory glassware? That's right, in the factory. Where do we make a factory? That's right, we have to tear down the primitive ironworks. So, before we do this, which we are almost able to, based on the materials required, but not the science, we need to make a couple more gears, and then we need to make sure that we have enough tar, which we're going to have to get that back, making more tar. But this is going to be one of the first industrial buildings we're going to want to build. But we cannot, and I repeat, cannot start making this building, or cannot finish it until the other primitive ironworks is done. We can have everything placed in there but the anvil until the very end, and that's fine. That's usually how I end up building it. But just so we're aware, that's what we're working toward. And remember that it has a plug-in on the top left corner there. I can't move my mouse cursor, but that is where the power has to go in. So we're going to have to figure out a better solution to power than just however this is working. And it's going to be a little bit of an annoying process, but we're going to be able to do it just fine. Haven't forgotten about over here either. These are all dead, and this forester does not reach all the way over here. But you know what does is the farmhouse, and this should stay until we have another bad tide. This should stay arable, and it's already day 6, so I'm going to, for the sake of cabbage everywhere, plant some cabbage. Those guys will take care of that, hopefully, within a reasonable period of time. We can utilize this space at least for a little bit. It only takes, what, 5 days for that to grow. I really should have done that a long time ago. Oh well, a lesson learned, so on and so forth. Still making sawdust. Full storage of sawdust. Probably should have had... Hey, well, guess what? I know where we can put some sawdust, and I've got a space for a large thing here, too. So, I'm going to put that here. Yes, I know it is very disjointed. But, that's Waterbeavers. That's how this thing works. It's always been how this has worked. So, we can put in a couple more small piles in space as it becomes available. Coal storage probably would not be a bad idea. But I'm just gonna keep some salt over here in addition to some coal storage. Just so we have somewhere to dump extra stuff, because I know I got these guys in here. Come on. I got these guys in here mining for salt, and they got nowhere to put it. But side effect is we do have 560 rice balls. And braised cabbage, once this cabbage starts getting harvested in the next 5 days, should be a very nice thing for us to deal with. Looking really good. These trees are looking good. 70% of the way done. Love to see that. We've got these, well, except for this blueberry, but we've got that going. Harvesting stuff, putting it to use, making cereal bars, and then the cereal bars now are all eaten because I can't provide all the rest of the materials. But things are looking good, folks. Looking really good. Berries, once again, going to be very, very important for us, but I like where we are. I don't think we have any reason to be really super worried about anything. I'm going to turn the fermentation back on now because we have a lot of cabbages. And I think we are... Well, how many times did I say that? We're in good shape. Oh, man, we're at hour 6. I'm going to have to stop this episode. But all that being said... Boy, I need a bingo sheet for this. We've accomplished a lot today. Larger water storage is very good. Getting bad tide survival stuff figured out a little bit better is also very good. Getting more storage for basically everything is also very good. We do need to get more scrap metal, but, you know, it's not really in short supply across the map. It's just a little irritating to get to in some points, and we will continue fixing that up. This is the gatherer flag. This is a scavenger flag that can't quite reach these over here. But once all of this is gone, and it's just about gone, we'll be in good shape. This right here, this distillery, is waiting on a little bit more scrap metal, but it has everything else, and then that's going to be making pollution resistance factor full-time. That is exciting. We are unfortunately running low on braised cabbage, relatively speaking, but we have a large amount of mushrooms. The cabbage situation is improving substantially. And, of course, we're making kimchi for our scientists. We are still making some more science. Just taking it one step at a time. We have 40 berries in here we can also take out and have them make cereal bars with. But, yes, I'm feeling very good about this. I really appreciate you guys watching this series and leaving helpful comments. As always, we've come through a lot of adversity in this already, and I am very confident that we will continue to succeed based on all the stuff we figured out, all the stuff you guys are pointing out and fixing, so on and so forth. So, like I said, really appreciate you. Beard Boosters especially, subsidizing the content, subsidizing the channel, subsidizing me as a person, making it possible to keep having more fun with the beavers, and roller coasters on Sundays. And there's plenty more to come. I'm trying very, very soon to get into more live streaming now that it's summertime, and I've gotten a substantial chunk of time back from obligations that have ended temporarily. So do keep your eyes peeled for that. What kind of expression is that? Sounds horrible. But I'm going to try my best for at least the month of June to stream at least 1 or 2 times a week. July I can't promise because there's all sorts of other stuff that happens, but going to try to get back into stuff. I know Satisfactory 1.1 is coming out on the 10th, and that's going to be really fun to get back into there. I know a couple people have been really, really asking for that, and other stuff as well. I know I've said it forever, but we're finally at the point where I can dedicate more time to stuff. So I appreciate your patience, and of course, like I said, I appreciate you. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again soon. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.